All right, so I broke my camera stand, so hopefully this will come out okay. Nola, down. This is Nola. She's a puppy that was out of Boomer and Cody, and she was sold to a client of ours, and he asked me to do some basic training. We're not doing a lot, just teaching sit, down, and how to walk on a leash. Not a heel, but walk on a leash. Heel. Come here, girl. You can leash out from under your feet. All right, there you go. Come on. Good girl. Sit. Good. Roll it down. Good. Down. Stay. Down. Down. Stay. Good. Down. Good. Stay. Good. So I'm using good as a marker to identify the desired behavior. And that allows for a bridge to take place between the verbal recognition of the good command and the delivery of the food, the reward. Down. Good. Which gives me a little time to get it to her so she doesn't have to hop up to get the treat. Okay, heel. Good girl. Whoops. Might help if I was watching what I was doing. You want to get that, don't you? Good girl. Good girl. Good. Look, she got an instinctive sit. So we're going to work on sometimes getting a reward for no reason, just so she's not just doing that to make the food come on. I don't want the sit to be automatic. I want it to be a command, okay? So if she's getting a reward just for every time she sits, then she may not be listening to the instruction. And I want her actually listening to the instruction. So sometimes I might just give her food for no reason, all right? And that way, when I do this hand gesture and the command, I get the behavior, sit. Okay, so that's probably an automatic response, which is okay for now, but later on you're going to want it to be a command. Down. Good. 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 Down. Good. Good. Down. Good. 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 Sit. Good. Down. Good. Good girl, Nola. Good girl. So now I have her staying down without me having to deal with her popping up, unless I give her the sit command, which I'm going to do here in a second. Sit. Good. Down. Good. 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 Down. Good. Okay, come on. Come on. Oh, come here. Sit. Good. Roll it down. 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 Roll it down. Good. Down. No. So me pulling the food away and saying no is what's known as a negative punishment. I'm removing something she wants. Removing means negative. And since it's something that she wants and doesn't want me to remove, it's a punishment. So a lot of times learning takes place when you have a negative punishment. The positive and negative is like math. Positive means I give something. Negative means I take something. If I'm giving something that they want, that's positive reinforcement. If I'm giving something they don't want, like I'm fixing to open a can of whoop ass, then that's positive punishment, okay? Now, we want to refrain from positive punishment when we're, especially in the bonding phase. I've seen some dogs that get timid and nervous of their owners, and that's because punishment occurred too early in the relationship. Now, punishment, you can give positive punishment even early if you do it at a mild and appropriate level that doesn't break trust. Down. Good. So that's positive reinforcement. Negative means to take away. So negative reinforcement is taking away something they don't like perhaps removing a leash. The dog doesn't like the leash, and so if the dog has a lot of compliance, then you can take the leash off, and that's going to be a negative reinforcer. You're letting the dog have freedom because it's learned to comply. Here I'm giving positive reinforcement, down, down, to guide the behavior, but I can also give negative reinforcement to show the undesired behavior. Like there, she gets up, what happened to my hand? I pulled the treat back out of her sight because she got up. I don't want her to get up. Look at that, starting to go back down. She's trying to figure it out and think. Down, nope. It disappears when she does that. So she may think about it and learn. Down, nope, down, good, good. So now she knows that chasing the food won't work. Okay, good. Sit, good. Unless I give that command. Down, good, good girl. So punishment always decreases a behavior. It's decreasing something that you don't want, like non-compliance or maybe aggression, pottying in the house. I've seen some people that punish a dog excessively for pottying in the house. I understand you don't want to mess in your house, but if you do this before you establish trust in the relationship, then you can turn a puppy into a fearful animal, and we don't want to do that. Puppies are not protectors, they're protected. Mothers and packs protect the babies. Down. So keep punishment fair. Now with the male dog that this client is getting, we're going to have to use some mild punishment because he likes to put his feet on me. However, you'll notice that when I give it to him, sit, I never do anything that suppresses his desire to work with me. I'll always keep it fair and reasonable so there's not a trust issue. Down, good. Come here, girl. Good girl. Sit. All right, sit. Down, nope. Down, no. So we're going to negative punishment there. I'm taking away something she wants in exchange for creeping on the down. Down, good. Now we get a big reward. That's a good girl. Yay! Sit. Good. Down. Good. Good. Let's go get your brother and see how he's doing, huh? What you think of that? Is that a good idea? Half brother. All right, let's go. Come on. I want you to comment below what you think I'm doing, whether it's positive reinforcement or positive punishment, negative reinforcement, and negative punishment. Drop the timestamp with your guess. Come here, girl. Sit. What was that? What did I do? Down. Good. What's that right there? So the first one, get your timestamp for A, and then that one right there was B. Good. Sit. Good. This puppy's about 3 months old. Maybe a hair less, maybe a hair older, but real close to 3 months. Beautiful dog out of Boomer and Bacote. Down. Good. Heel. Sit. 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 Good. Down. All right. What was that? What did I do? Down. Down. Marker that I'm linking with a negative punishment. Down. All right. There it is again. Down. Okay, so I had a positive punishment verbal marker and a negative punishment with my hand. Good. Sit. Good girl. And I really do believe a lot of the learning takes place not only with the positive reinforcement, but also with the negative punishment. Sit. The cool thing about negative punishment is it allows you to punish a dog in a way that doesn't break trust. Down, down, because positive punishment does break trust when it's physical. Now, if it's just a marker, it doesn't. It could, I guess, if you did too much of it. Down, down. Sit. Good. Like, you can have a marker for a positive punishment that's going to be physical. Like if you yell at a dog and then you lose your temper and you go over there and smack it, it knows that the smack is fixing to occur after you yell at the dog. So that would be a marker for a positive punishment. Perhaps my marker that I was using earlier for a negative punishment really shouldn't be called a positive punishment. Maybe it should be called a marker for negative punishment. Sit. Down. Down. Good. She actually looked away from me to figure out where she could lay down. The grass is cold and wet, but she still complied. That's good. That means learning is occurring in the brain. Sit. A lot of people push the dog's butts down for a sit. That's not the way to teach a dog to sit, because then you're doing an external stimulus. You want this to be an internal decision. Sit. Good girl. Heel. Come on. Come here, girl. Come here, girl. Girl. Good girl. Sit. Down. Down. Good. Good. She knows there's a piece. It's on her left side. Down. 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 Good. And then when we get done, we want to have some fun, so we'll run a little bit and play a little bit after the session. Good. Yay. Yeah. Good girl. Yay. Good. Good girl. Yeah. Good girl. Yeah. Good girl. Yeah. Good girl. All right, let's go get the boy. Sit. Yay. Good girl. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, there's a good girl. So this is Nola out of Boomer and Bacote. Let's go get the boy, Kane. He's out of Boomer and Miss Bandit. Come here, Kane. All right, so this is Kane. Kane is out of Boomer and Miss Bandit. He's only about 9 weeks old. He's kind of the small one. He's a runt. But boy, what a lot of fun this puppy is. Great, great confidence, super bold, will not take any nonsense from anyone as far as pups go. Very bold. All right, now he is the one that I was saying would like to put his feet on me and stuff. So we're gonna have to use a little bit of positive punishment for that. But we never want to exceed a level that causes a trust issue. So everything's gonna be reasonable and fair. You might see me bump his nose, kind of like that when he starts clawing on me, like that a little bit, but it's never enough to do anything except for cause a mild discomfort. You know, it's not a pain stimulating response. It's more like, that just doesn't seem right. Okay, let's go. All right, Kane, so can you teach puppies, babies, basic obedience? Sit, sit. I think so. Sit. Ah, get down. Sit. Good. Sit. Good. Down. Good. Get the butt down. So we're gonna get that butt down by going up, and then get the head down by going down. So I position the food where the head has to look up to see the food, which causes the rear end to go down because it's uncomfortable on the spine. Come on. Sit. Good. Sit. Nope. Sit. Good. Down. Nope. Sit. Down. Good. That butt's coming up, so we're going to work on that. Down. All right. Nope. So what was that? Was that positive or negative reinforcement or punishment? Down. All right. Get that butt down. There you go. You can also get their butt to go down by just backing them up, which I'll show you what I mean here. Down. Well, the butt went down, so that's good. Down. That's good. Sometimes going forward or back causes them to put their butt down. Sit. Good. Down. There's the butt was up. See if we can get him to do that again. Sometimes, you know, you want to set the dog up for success, but once you get some success and you see them making a mistake, setting them up to make a mild mistake is okay. You don't want to set them up to make a major mistake that requires more of a correction than necessary. Clear communication is the goal. All right, down. 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 He's not, there you go. Good boy. Good boy. Jackpot when he hits the ground. Good boy. Good boy. Yeah, look at that. All right. Down. Good. So I gave him like 4 or 5 treats there. I was just scraping it off the hot dog with my thumb. Down. Good. Nope, that's not good. Down. Good. Okay, heel. Sit. Nope, sit. Down. So let me back up some, make sure you guys can see my arm. So the sit command is me doing this with my arm. Sit. Now, obviously, when I'm way up here, it doesn't mean a whole lot to the dog, but we started off closer to the animal. We started off right here. So it was going over their head. And slowly we work our way further and further out until I'm standing up, just going sit. Okay. And then down was also really close. Right here, down, down. Get that booty down. Okay, you're not gonna get it. Sit, down, good. All right. Come on, boy. Down, down. So this is how I would be when he's finished. I just say down, but up here, it's not causing him to look down. My hand is still way above his head. So if he does it, it'll be like almost a miracle. Sit, down, sit, down. I need to get closer here until he understands the verbal. You want to give the verbal command always like half a second before the physical command. Down, down. Now there I was too early on my hand. I should have verbally said it first. Down. Because later on, you're not going to necessarily be using your hand. You might not. Sometimes you may be talking to somebody and you might only use your hand because you don't want to interrupt the person you're speaking with. So you might just go like this and expect the dog to sit because you're in a conversation. All right. But other times you're going to say down because your hands might be working on something. Maybe you're running some tools in the house, you know, holding a screw with one hand and a screwdriver with the other, and you need the dog to quit jumping on you, so you say sit or down. Well, for that sit or down to mean something, remember, that's just a word. How did you link that command with the behavior? You used your positive and negative reinforcements and positive and negative punishments to link those verbal cues to what's about to happen. Sit. Down. Down. Sit. down, sit, down. Good. I'm using the sit to get the butt down. Down. Yeah. Sit, down. And he used to put his feet on me a lot when I would do the sit, and we'll see if we can do that, and I'll show you the positive punishment here. There, see? So what happens? See? Good, I got that. Good. Good. Now, you don't want to like hurt the dog. Don't try to bloody his nose or something. Just be, this dog's still happy. He's wagging his tail. I'm not hurting the animal. I'm just causing a little bit like, okay, that doesn't work. Putting your feet on him, putting your feet on the food does not work. So that would be a positive punishment that's mild, and it's not causing him to lose interest because I'm not getting angry, okay? It's an intellectual decision. Parents that beat their children when the children disobey, okay, I have no problems with punishments like spanking, no problems at all. But you shouldn't do it in anger. I see my phone fell over, so I'm gonna go correct that. All right. Thanks for this. Yes, okay, good. All right, sorry about the camera falling over. So, if you're the type of person that you can't spank your children because you get too emotionally upset and you do it in anger instead of an intellectual decision, then hey, spanking is not for you, okay? Because if you spank a child or spank a dog and you do it out of anger and frustration instead of clear communication and discipline and accountability, then you end up having problems. I've had some people ask me to make a video on raising kids because my oldest daughter graduated with a 4.0 down. My son graduated valedictorian also with he actually had a 4.15 because he took weighted classes, advanced courses. And then when his first 2 years in college, actually 1 full year, he's on his 2nd year now, halfway through. And he is on the president's list. But I used them all right? And he's not a troublemaker, he's a good kid. Both of my children are older kids, are good, and then Caroline's just a 9-year-old, so proof's in the pudding on the first 2, but jury's still out on the younger one. We've got our work to do. Down. Good boy. Good boy, Kane. All right, and when you're raising kids or dogs, guide them. Don't just force them from behind. It's not about using a bullwhip from behind. It's about teaching them from the front. Being a counselor, a friend, a parent, a coach, all these things have their place, okay? There's a time for each. Y'all take care and have a blessed day.